Hello and welcome to this VEMA Trader tutorial video where we are going to run through how to connect your Binance account to VEMA Trader so that you can trade spot markets. You'll see here I have got an empty VEMA account, and I am going to also show you that we have got a Binance account here, which has got a little bit of cash on there so that we can go ahead and make sure our API is fully connected and funded and ready to trade inside of VEMA Trader. The first thing we want to do inside of Binance is set up a new sub-account. You don't want to be using your main account for this because it can interfere with trades. It's just better to have a sub-account and keep everything over there completely separate. That way, if you do decide to do any other trading outside of VEMA, VEMA's not going to interrupt your other trading, is not going to block VEMA from doing things. I am in the main account of our Binance account here, and I can tell that because if I come up to the top right-hand corner where there is the avatar profile icon, if we come down to switch account, now I've already got another sub account here. If I mouse over the sub account, you'll see that it says switch. If you were to mouse over the top main account where it says master account, there'll be a switch button, or in this case it says current. So I'm ready to go on my master account. The first thing we want to do is go ahead and create a new sub account. Over on Binance, I'm going to go to the left hand side. We'll go to sub accounts. Now, not account, sub account. And then we'll go to account management. You can see here I have got some other sub accounts where I've been doing some testing. The next thing we want to do is come over to create sub account over here. I'll click on create sub account. It'll say create with an email address. That's what we want to do. And we want to put in a new email and a new password. So this is effectively creating a whole new Binance account. So it does have its own email and its own password. You do need to have a separate email address. There are some places that will let you use an address like richard@vematrader.com, and so that you can combine inboxes and not have to have multiple email address inboxes, you can do things like plus Binance sub account. These are really, really handy, but unfortunately Binance does not support them. So we cannot use plus accounts on Binance for a sub account. You will need to have another email account or inbox that you can use. I'm going to recommend Gmail because you can go and get as many Gmail accounts as you want, or like Hotmail. There's plenty of options out there. I need to enter it into a password, and because you have just put in an email address, it is going to say, hey, I need you to confirm that this is an email address that you actually have access to. So for that, it says, hey, go ahead and put the code that we just sent to your email. Oh, that's right. It doesn't actually send you the code until you press the get code button. So don't be a ding dong like me and sit there going, where's my code? In your email, it's not getting sent. You've actually got to go ahead and click the send to me button or the get code button. So go on over to the email address and I've grabbed that code. I've stuck it in, I've pressed confirm. Now, this is going to say, hey, if you want to make a sub account, we also need to confirm that you're the owner of this actual Binance account. So this is the Authenticator app and email of the actual main account itself. So I'm going to go to Authenticator app, and in here I'm going to enter in my two-factor authentication code when it ticks over to a new one, and then go to my email. Now, see what I mean? This one here has already sent it. Code sent, as opposed to the other one where you've actually got to press the get code button. But oh well, that was a niggly little thing anyway. So cool, I've put both of those in. That has now made a new sub account here for me. Now I need to make it that I can switch to this account. By default, it is not switchable. And we can tell that because if we scroll sideways, so the one we're dealing with is the top one. Scrolling sideways, we can see here, switchable. No, you're not allowed to switch to it yet. So to adjust that, we're going to come over to the right-hand side under action, and there's the three dots. Click on that one and we will enable switching. There we go, completed. Now with that, we are able to switch over to the sub account, but we're not gonna do that just yet. I've got some funds that I wanna send over to that account so that we can trade. Now, if you want to do this step, awesome. This is how we do it. If you want to do it later on, that is also perfectly fine. I'm going to go to that same sub account that I've just made switchable, and I'm going to click on the three dots button, and I'm going to go to transfer in. That means transfer money from your main account into the sub account. So here it says, which account are you gonna get that funds from? I'm gonna grab it from my main account, from my main account's spot trading assets, and I'm gonna transfer it over to the new SubAccount spot trading assets, and I want to send it the USDT that I have. How much do I want to send? I'm just going to send all of it. And with that, the account has been funded. The next thing we want to do is create some API keys on the SubAccount so that we can connect it over to VEMA Trader. And to do that, we need to first switch to the SubAccount. So on the main account, go to the profile icon, and then scroll down or move your mouse down to switch account. On switch account, we can see the one we want to swap over to. I can switch to it. So now I'm logged into the new SubAccount, which we also know that that's done because we have got balance on it because I just transferred some balance over, or we could deposit directly into it. But hey, I've got it in my main account and I've transferred it over. I'm funded and ready to go. Now we need to set up two-factor authentication on this SubAccount so that we can connect an API. Over here on the left-hand side, I'm gonna go to account and then to security. Then I'm going to go ahead and under two-factor authentication, I am going to turn on the Authenticator app. So here it says to increase, we recommend you turn it on. Great, I will enable Binance Google Authenticator now. And then click on Enable Authenticator app. Awesome. That will send a code to your SubAccount's inbox. Go to your inbox, grab that code and paste it in. Hey, look, it sends it automatically again. It doesn't need you to click the get code button. Awesome, that has worked. So now on your phone, you will go and open up the Google Authenticator app or Microsoft Authenticator app or whichever one works best for you. And on Google Authenticator app in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a plus button and then click on or tap on scan QR code. Point that at your screen. That's the big white box, which I've grayed out on for you. Alternatively, you can type in the code down here into your phone. It's kind of easy to do it with a camera. Click on next, and now that's going to say, hey, just need to verify that you've actually done this correctly. What's the latest code on the two-factor authentication app? Now that's going to be the code for the new email address that you've set up, not your main Binance account. If you search for Binance, you should now see 2 or maybe 3 if you've got other accounts. With that done, we've now got an authentication app set up for our Binance account. We can now create an API key on the account. To do that, I'm going to click on the profile icon just to get me back onto this page where on the left-hand side, I can go account, API management. Now I can click on create API key in the top right, then go to system generated. And it's going to say, what do you want to call this one? Well, I'm connecting this to VEMA Trader, so I'm going to call it VEMA Trader. Now it's going to say, hey, just need to verify that you are the owner of this account and that you have access to all the security bits and pieces of this SubAccount. Sure, I can do that again. I'll open the Authenticator app. This is the authentication code on the SubAccount, not the main account. And then it's going to say, also don't forget to get me the code for the email address that you set up for this account as well. Can't remember which account you're looking at. It's got the part of the email address there for you. All right, now I have got these security codes in front of me. Do not share these with anybody. VEMA Trader is never gonna ask you for these. And if anyone else is ever asking you, you need to give me the API key and the security key. Practice your salty pirate language on them and politely or very harshly tell them to go shove it somewhere else. This is not information that you share with anybody ever. So now I'm going to click on the copy button over on the right-hand side of the API key. And now I can go into VEMA Trader, and in VEMA Trader in the top right-hand corner, we've got the menu icon, click on My Account, and then go to Trading Accounts. On Trading Accounts, we choose which crypto exchange we want to connect to. I'd like to connect to Binance Spot, and this is a VEMA Trader account. You can call it whatever you'd like to here. This is, hey, in VEMA Trader, what do you want to know the Binance connection as? Well, I'm going to call it VEMA Trader. There we go. I'll put in my API key. I'll just paste it straight into the API key field. And now the key secret. Interestingly, there's no copy button next to it over here, like there is for API key. So you can click and drag your mouse across the whole thing to copy it, and then make sure you don't accidentally go and copy anything else, like whoops, now I've got too much other stuff. The alternative to that is to put your mouse over the secret key text and then double click 1, 2. That'll select all the text for you as well. And then copy that one, so right click, copy, then go back to VEMA Trader and paste in the key. All right, if I click add key at this point, then it'll accept it, but we haven't actually finished setting up the account in Binance for VEMA to be able to place trades on it yet. So coming back over to Binance, you can see here that it's got the ability to read from the account, which means tell us how much balance is in the account. That's one part we need, but we also need to enable spot and margin trading. Now you can't click the box, unfortunately, until you come up over to the top right-hand part of the new API key and click on edit restrictions. Click on that one, then we can go ahead and enable spot and margin trading. And we also want to put this into restrict access to trusted IPs only. The reason we want to do this is if someone was to maliciously get hold of your API keys, they would be able to place trades on your account for you from anywhere and any computer in the world. By switching this over to restrict access to trusted IPs only, you're then saying, I've given my API key details to VEMA and only VEMA's servers are able to actually interact with my Binance account. So extra good security. Now I'm going to say these out loud, and as I type them, that's perfectly fine. The other alternative is to grab the IPs from the support document, which is where you're looking to get this video anyway. So that would be 13.211.54.54, then put a space and go 3.105.226.195. Make sure you're using a space between these two. There must be a space. It cannot be a dash. A dot is incorrect. It must be a space between the two IP addresses. Click on confirm and done. Well, no, not done. Now you've got to go ahead and click on save. Because you are changing the API and the permissions on the API, that is going to make Binance say, hey, we need to verify that you actually have access to this account again. Yes, security is important. It can also just be a pain sometimes, but hey, that is the beauty of this having to be done once. So I'm on my SubAccount. I'll go to the Authenticator app. I'm going to go to my phone now and look up the two-factor authentication code on the new Binance account that we've just added to it. And then I'm going to click on email so that it can double 2FA, triple FA it. Anyway, it's going to go to my email, get the other code that's been sent to my new inbox, and then I'm going to click on OK. Awesome. So that has now been done. So now VEMA is able to read from the account to see the balances. It has permissions to do spot trading, and that's what we need it to have. And it's also restricted to just VEMA Trader's IPs. So with that, let's jump over to VEMA Trader. With that all done, VEMA Trader is now ready to go. We can confirm that by going to the top right-hand corner of VEMA Trader and clicking on the wallet. In the wallet, we can now see that we have got a Binance spot account connected here, and we can see our balance is there ready to go. If you don't see your balance, go ahead and double check it that you have actually transferred it over to your sub account from your main account, and that you've got it sitting there as USDT. You'll see here, VEMA Trader has called it Binance Spot bracket USDT. That is the currency that we're going to settle all of the trades into. And so for you to open a position against Binance Spot, it must come from USDT, and then it will sell itself out when exiting back to USDT as well. And just to confirm that this is all working well and truly good, let's go up to Start Charting in the top right-hand corner of the VEMA UI. So we've jumped over to Start Charting, and we can see that we are switched over to Binance as our exchange, and I'm looking at Bitcoin USDT as my symbol. All your usual VEMA Trader trigger style entries are here, so we can go ahead and say, let's set up a bounce trade off this quasi uptrend, or we could say, let's set up a cross or break and retest above resistance. All of those work perfectly fine, but I just want to quickly show you that something cool about trading on Binance with VEMA Trader. So I'm going to switch over to my entry type of market. I've got live trade connected here. Now I've deliberately connected myself onto the 5-minute chart, and it's got a pretty tight stop loss here of 0.36 to 1. While it is showing the risk reward, there's a bit of a problem here in that if I expand out the risk management section, it says that I'm probably not going to have enough margin here. So because this is spot trading and there is no leverage available to us, anything less than a 1% price move means that you can't actually risk more than 1% of your account for the trade. So in this case, because the stop loss is around it is 0.36% away, that would mean that my actual trade that I could take would actually be needing to use less than that. So 0.3 as an example, and that would be able to, hey, we can go ahead and use your account to actually enter that trade. Now, just to show you that if I put my stop loss like much further away and I want to use, it's currently 2.3% away, and I want to use 1% of my account risk, then that's fine. VEMA Trader is going to have no issue with that. It's something to be aware of if you are going to get into scalping on spot, then because you don't have leverage, you won't be able to risk 1% of your account on a trade. You will need to reduce your account risk to less than what your stop loss placement actually is, so 0.4, and that'll make that turn from an error over to a warning saying that, hey, that's gonna actually take up a lot of your margin. So what does the margin mean? It says because you've opened a trade, it's gonna take up basically 85% of your account onto this Bitcoin trade. You probably won't be able to go ahead and open an Ethereum position as well. But hey, just something to be aware of. So I'm gonna set that account risk back to 1, and I'll set my stop loss further away. More than 1, great. Next thing I want to quickly show you here is in the estimates section. Here in the estimates with the position sizing, there is the position size required for the account risk you're looking for. That position size of 0.00251 is broken down a little bit further. There is the net position size, so when you buy the Bitcoin, how much you'll actually be holding in your account, minus the fee for the entry of the trade. And then there is also a little bit of dust that'll be left over in your account once you exit the position. That's just because the exchanges have amounts that they're step sizes of how much they're going to actually accept as a tradable amount. In Binance on Bitcoin, as an example, it's 0.00001 of a Bitcoin. And because there's going to be a bit of fees, that's going to be a leftover bit of dust of 0.0000749 Bitcoin that'll be left behind. Not a problem, it's dust. You can go ahead and log into Binance and click on the convert dust, get it back into USDT or BNB or another asset. It's not a problem, nothing wrong with that. It's actually good to know. It's just, I love personally that VEMA takes all of that into account and makes it so all I've got to do is just do my TA, set my stop loss, set my take profit, and let me go away and be happy. So I'm going to put my take profit up there, and my account risk I'll put to 0.2 because I've got a stop loss of less than 1%, so I can't risk 1% of my account. I need to risk less than 1% of my account. Now I'll click on enter now. That has set up that trade. Everything else I want to be doing here inside of VEMA Trader I can do as well. So if I want to take that position and split the take profits out, awesome. I can go ahead, click on add, and then I can move a second take profit around. If I want to swap the stop loss over to a trailing stop, I can do that. All really, really simple to do, and how you're used to doing things inside of VEMA Trader already. And with that, you are ready to go and trade Binance Spot on your VEMA Trader account. I hope you have an amazingly fun time doing it and become hell of profitable. If you run into any troubles, get stuck somewhere, or need a bit more of assistance, by all means, always feel free to get in touch with us, support@vematrader.com. Happy trading.